Welcome back, dear viewers. In this final part of the Festival of Indra, we witness the culmination of Manimekalai's journey to save Kaveripatnam. The city may have found peace, but as we soon learn, this peace marks the beginning of a new chapter in her destiny. Let us dive into the rich conclusion of this epic tale's second chapter. Kaveripatnam, the city that had teetered on the brink of devastation, now seemed to breathe with a renewed sense of life. The once raging waters of the Kaveri River had finally receded, their fury calmed by the collective prayers and unity of its people. At the heart of this transformation stood Manimekalai. Her presence wasn't just a source of strength, it was a beacon of hope for those who had been lost in fear and division. The people of Kaveripatnam, once blinded by material pursuits and isolated in their suffering, now turned to Manimekalai for guidance. She became their guiding light, inspiring them to rise above their fears and desires, to embrace compassion and community. Yet, even in this newfound calm, Manimekalai knew the peace was fragile, vulnerable to the shadows of greed, pride, and selfishness still lurking in many hearts. She walked through the city tirelessly, sharing the teachings of the Buddha with anyone willing to listen. Her words, gentle yet profound, took root in the hearts of the people, transforming the city from within. The Festival of Indra, once a display of wealth and grandeur, took on a new meaning. No longer did the people seek to impress the gods with extravagance. Instead, they offered sincere prayers and pure intentions. Lavish decorations and noisy celebrations gave way to quiet meditation, heartfelt rituals, and the soft rustling of prayer flags in the wind. The streets, once bustling with merchants and riches, now carried an air of serenity. The hum of chanting and soft footsteps filled the air as people gathered to pray, meditate, and reflect on the lessons they had learned. In the palace, the king watched these changes with awe and humility. He had believed the god's favor could be bought with opulence, but Manimekalai opened his eyes to a deeper truth. Summoning her to the palace, he said with reverence, "Manimekalai, you have saved this city, not just from the god's wrath, but from the darkness within our hearts. How can we ever repay you?" Manimekalai, ever humble, bowed her head and replied, "Your Majesty, the greatest reward is knowing the people of Kaveripatnam have found peace. But the journey to righteousness is endless. Together we must walk this path, supporting each other along the way." The king, his expression resolute, vowed, "This city will honor your teachings. Kaveripatnam will remain a beacon of compassion and unity." As days turned to weeks, the city flourished. Acts of kindness became commonplace and the community thrived. Manimekalai's name became a symbol of wisdom and grace, her story inspiring generations. Yet, deep within her, she felt a stirring, a reminder that her destiny lay beyond Kaveripatnam. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Manimekalai stood by the Kaveri River, lost in thought. The sound of the flowing water soothed her restlessness. Suddenly, a presence emerged beside her, the sage Aravana. His form shimmered in the fading light. "You've done well, Manimekalai," he said, his voice steady. "But your journey is far from over. The path ahead is even more challenging, and you must walk it." Manimekalai met his gaze with determination. "What must I do?" The sage replied, "Travel to distant lands. Many are lost in darkness, in desperate need of guidance. You must share the Buddha's teachings with all." Though apprehensive, Manimekalai felt a deep resolve. "I will do what must be done. Where do I begin?" The sage smiled. "Trust yourself, and the path will reveal itself." The next morning, Manimekalai bid an emotional farewell to her mother, Madhavi, and the people of Kaveripatnam. With each step, her heart grew heavier, yet her resolve remained strong. As she reached the city's edge, she turned back one last time. "Farewell, Kaveripatnam," she whispered. "May you always walk in the light of truth." And so, Manimekalai's journey continues. Leaving behind the city she saved, she ventures into the unknown to bring light to those in darkness. What trials and triumphs await her? Join us in the next chapter of Manimekalai as her destiny unfolds across distant lands. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay with us on this timeless journey. Until next time, stay curious.